Howdy. How we all doing today? Well, as you can see, I'm out here getting more sun exposure. I almost didn't do it today, and clearly I'm not walking like I have been before. This is because I spent 13 hours at work yesterday, and I can barely stand up at the moment. But I figured, it's the goal is sun exposure, so I'll just go sit in the sun in my backyard. And this ties into yesterday's off the cuff video where I talked about looking like an idiot, because I'm a little self-conscious out here right now, because I know I'm far enough away from all of my neighbors that nobody should be able to hear me talking to my camera. But they could still step outside and see me talking to my camera in my backyard. I'm going to set a timer now on my phone to let me know when 15 minutes is up. It says currently 10:50, so at 11:05 I will have achieved my 15 minutes of sun exposure for the day. Go ahead and hold on. Let's see. I'll make sure that's still recording. Sorry. Okay, yeah, it's still recording. Just lay that down there. Oh, have my trusty ketogenic coffee. So, I decided yesterday that I was going to go back to the ketogenic diet. I'll give you a little bit of backstory. On February 19th, 2014, I discovered the ketogenic diet. And then between February 19th, 2014 and August of 2015, I lost 195 pounds on the keto diet. But August of 2015, the end of August of 2015, was when my father was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. And, being from the South, the thing people do is they bring food every day. People were bringing food. They were bringing cakes and pies and just all kinds of sweets, primarily because Dad said that the only thing he could really taste due to the chemotherapy was sweets. So they'd bring it, and Dad would eat a couple of bites while they were there. Be like, oh, it's real good, thank you. Because that's who he was. And then as soon as everybody left, he would tell me that I could have it because he didn't want it. Because he didn't have an appetite, and he didn't want anybody to worry because he didn't have an appetite. I would try to get him to eat. And, he was a stubborn old Southern boy. And at first, I wouldn't eat them. And Dad would say, well, if you're not going to eat it, just throw it away. I don't want it. So I'd throw it away. Well, as time progressed and I slipped deeper into denial over Dad's health, I started eating all the stuff that people was bringing that Dad didn't want to eat. I stayed in check for a while. I put on 15 or 20 more pounds. And, I started at 450 pounds on February 19th, 2014. And when I moved back home from Tennessee at the end of August of 2015, I weighed 255 pounds. Um, on March 9th, 2016, Dad died. And I spiraled. And like, it's 2020. It's July 2nd of 2020. I've been uh, spiraling with a couple of small windows of time where I managed to get a hold of it for a little while for 4 years. And the thing about a loss like that is it never really goes away. But as time goes on, the moments of extreme despair do lessen. And I really feel like that at this point, it's time to get back on the horse. And, the keto diet, I lost 195 pounds before. So obviously it worked for me. And I hope that it'll work for me again. I've dabbled in it from time to time since then, but never really have managed to get it to stick. And that's partly because um, where I work at, I'm not going to say that where I work at is a toxic environment. What I'll say is that it's a toxic environment for me. I don't hate people, but I don't do well with people. Yesterday, I jokingly told a couple of friends at work that, hey, I did pretty good today. I only have 1.5 panic attacks. And, they ha ha ha, because I ha ha ha. I didn't treat it as a serious occurrence. But there was literally one moment where I froze. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. One of my coworkers, fantastic young girl, um, needed me to give direction, and I couldn't. Like, I could look at her, and I could hear what I needed to say in my head, but nothing would come out. And it's not just the job. I mean, it's everything. My health has declined significantly, and I don't know. Like, I can't pinpoint one single event in recent memory that led me here. But after 13 hours of being on my feet with all of this weight bearing down on my joints, on concrete floors, lifting and tugging big heavy boxes, um, it's I can barely stand up right now, and I need to be at work in about an hour. I haven't showered yet. It's a 35-minute drive, so I'm going to be late. I already told them I was going to be a little late. Um, You know, when I said I was going to do these off the cuff conversations, I didn't expect to cry on the second one. But it really is a beautiful day outside. I'm feeling very sun exposed, and it's supposed to help with mood, so maybe that'll get me up, get me motivated. The caffeine from my keto coffee. Oh man, this is the one thing that has stuck around since 2014. Initially, when I started making keto coffee, it was just, put butter in your coffee, which at this point I'm sure most people have heard. But when I started out, I wasn't using butter. I was just using heavy cream and coconut oil. And Dad thought it was disgusting, and it was disgusting. It did not taste very good at all. And for a couple of months, I did that. And then I discovered skinny syrups, which, they're 0-calorie sweeteners. They've got all kinds of chemicals in them because that's how they make 0-calorie sweeteners, unless it's erythritol and stuff. And I started putting that in there, and it helped a little bit. Then as time went on, I was like, well, I need to add some more nutritional values, some protein and stuff. So I started putting a tablespoon of peanut butter in it. And that changed the consistency of it and the taste, obviously. But it started to taste more like a sweet, flavored, coffee-like milkshake. And then finally, the thing that throws most of my friends and family off when I tell them is I started putting a raw egg in it before I would blend it. And the raw egg, outside of the nutritional value and the protein from it, actually gives it this very creamy, very milkshakey texture, and doesn't affect the flavor at all. That's the part nobody ever believes, but it doesn't. It doesn't affect the flavor. And this is delicious. Everybody's always stopping at Starbucks before work. I don't need Starbucks. I've tasted Starbucks, and I don't like it. I don't think it tastes all that great. But this is my jam. Well, if I actually put this video up, let me know if anything I said had an effect on you. I don't know if I'm going to put it up or not, because I've already put up a lot of unflattering stuff. I just want to be real. So, yeah, I'm definitely putting this up. Fortune favors the bold. So yeah, throw some comments down. Let me know how you deal with panic attacks if you have them. Let me know if you have panic attacks similar to the ones that I have, where I just freeze, or if it's a extremely anxious event, or how you feel from them. Let me know your own weight loss stories. Let me know the things that you're dealing with, because the things that you're dealing with are probably the things that I'm dealing with, and the things that other people are dealing with. And it helps to talk about them. I already feel better just from talking to my camera. But I'm really talking to all of you out there. So now for the schlocky YouTube thing, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And I will be back for another off the cuff conversation tomorrow. Hopefully, a bit more emotionally stable for it. Go out there and have a great day. And remember, go be wonderful humans. Be good humans. Cheers.